Hello everyone and welcome to this new guide by your friend Sakamakaro. This is a quick and complete guide for PVM to be able to defeat the Arc Glacor. We're gonna be going through the mechanics and we're gonna be explaining them as they happen in their highest. That is 250% enrage or more. Without further ado, let's get on with it. Now, for the rewards, pets, and title, we got the pet Gladys and Arc Gladys. Once you unlock the pet, you have the chance of unlocking an Arc Gladys. That's the darker pet there at 1000 hard mode kill count. The drop rate is as of yet unknown. As this is a new boss, it's gonna be changing and it's gonna be getting new info every single time. I will try to keep this guide updated. Now, for uniques, there are 4 uniques that you can get from the Arc Glacor. Those are the Scripture of One, the new book that is seriously good and seriously messed up. It's really good. The Dark Nylas, the Length Artifact, the Frozen Core of Length, and those are the uniques for the Arc Glacor. The other drops you got Manuscript of One, you got Medium Orichalcum Salvage and Water Battle Staffs that you can alch for a seriously good amount of cash. You got Glacor Remnants and Uncut Dragonstones, Bird Nests, and other generic drops that they are pretty good. For players out there trying to level up their summoning, he drops Water Talismans in the thousands, in the hundreds, and they stack really fast, so you can make up those Geyser Titans and level up your summoning really fast. Once you have all of the uniques and you have crafted all of the rewards from the uniques, you're gonna be able to get the title The Cold-Blooded. Glacor works in a very specific way because every single drop, except for the scripture, is part of a crafting process that you must do to get certain rewards and cosmetics, and you need all of those to get the title crafted. Now, for the use of the loot, we're gonna be focusing on the useful things. There are 3 cosmetic wings overrides that you can craft, but we're not focusing on them. The best reward you can expect from the Arc Glacor are the new tier 95 dual wield melee weapons, and those are crafted with 7.5k remnants, 10 Dark Nylas, 1 Frozen Core of Length that is a very rare drop, and that is the only drop you can get in hard mode. Hard mode is the only mode that drops for Frozen Core of Length, so if you want tier 95, you better be doing hard mode, and you need a tier 85 weapon that you can craft from the rewards of the Glacor. So you need to craft the tier 85 and then make the tier 95. These weapons are godlike. I mean, they have a very good synergy. They have a passive ability on the offhand that allows you to use Hurricane on dual wield and a special attack that increases your max hit on the main hand, and they are basically awesome weapons. Now, for the tier 85s, they have the synergy, they have the passive, they only do not have the special attack, and obviously they are tier 85. And you need 2.5k remnants, 5 Dark Nylas, 10 Blackstone Heart from Elite Dungeons 3, and 2 Glorious Bars to craft each one of these. These are relatively easy to come by once you start doing Glacor, so you might get them really fast, and currently are about 150-100 mil more or less. And you got an upgrade to the Carapac Grease Grabs, the Nightmare Gauntlets, and the Gloves of Passage that got buffed on the release of the Arc Glacor. So you can upgrade those to tier 90 with a Length Artifact that is dropped with 5 mechanics or more, and 10 Necronium Bars in the case of the Gloves of Passage. Now, for the fight itself, the Arc Glacor starts hard mode with 370,000 life points. Normal mode, it starts with 70k, so it's pretty doable even for low level players, and it caps at 4000% enrage at 3,300,000 life points. So it has almost the life of a duo. It has more life than a duo Solak at the max enrage, and it can be really tough to beat. It has just one phase, there are no phasing, no mechanic changing, nothing. It's quite straightforward fight, and it has 55 affinity for every style, making it weak to every single style. It is poisonable, immune to stuns, and weak to the Hex Hunter bow. So if you are choosing a style, use ranged, it's pretty good. Now, for the requisites to kill Arc Glacor at hard mode 0%, I recommend 70 defense, 70 magic, range, and melee. A Pontifex Shadow Ring tier 3 is highly recommended, and having the devotion ability unlocked. That ability you can get it from the Anima Islands Distraction and Diversion guide coming soon, or from God Wars 1 Armadil or Bandos, either the followers, the generals, anyone on the Armadil or Bandos side of God Wars 1 can drop devotion. If you haven't got it, I highly recommend unlocking it as soon as you can. Now, for the location, you want to teleport or go to Santisten either by Archaeology Journal, Pontifex Shadow Ring, or whatever other mean you want. Big Side Pendant, just running from the Baroque Lodestone. It's the closest Lodestone. But if you have Pontifex Shadow Ring, you can teleport directly to the cathedral. You can run south, and you're gonna go through. The first time you go through, you're gonna get shown a cutscene. You can skip it and watch it again by talking to Ariane. We're skipping it right now, and we're gonna run all the way south. You need to go through some Glycides and Glacors that are on the battlefield, and they will be aggressive. So if you do not want to risk getting hit, don't forget to bring your Shard of Erebus to prevent aggression on this point. Once you go through that orange barrier there, you are at the realm of the Arch Glacor. You can start fighting it, you can start customizing it. But before that, we're gonna be talking about equipment. Obviously, we want tier 70 or better equipment. You want a God Sword, an Armadillo Crossbow, a Staff of Light, and you want Bandos Armadillo of Subjugation in your armor slots. Now, for the gloves specifically, you want Cinderbane gloves. Those gloves increase poison damage, and as he's poisonable, they increase your damage by a lot. The rest of it, it's pretty simple. You want to bring a Scripture of Wine if you have it, if not a Scripture of Jazz or any other god book or screenshot. Scripture of Wine is really awesome, and if it procs on 2 specific mechanics, it can make the kill really fast and really easy. And for a necklace, you want your Amulets of Souls or Essence of Finality necklace. Prayer is a big thing on this fight, and Amulet of Souls increases the effectiveness of your protection prayer, so that can be really good. Now, for the inventory, you want a combat kit, you want your weapon poison plus, you want your Pontifex Shadow Ring for extra drops, only in normal mode. If you're doing hard mode, you don't need to bring the Pontifex Shadow Ring. I actually don't use it because it only upgrades the tropes to tier 2 and allows you to get Wen tropes, which has some nice drops, but I personally don't use it. If you're ranging, mechanized Chinchompas are a really good weapon here. There are some mechanics where you need area damage, and they're pretty dope. If you're not ranging, don't bother bringing a scythe or a lance unless it's your main weapon. There's actually not that much of a need of area damage, and food as much as you want. Now, Arch Glacor is a bit special because you have a setup mechanic in which you can toggle which mechanics are on and which special attacks are off. There are 6 special attacks, 5 of which you can toggle them on or off at your best. And if you want to enter hard mode, you need to start an instance, check that instance is set to maximum 1 player, and defeat the Glacor solo with all 5 mechanics enabled. It shouldn't be too hard, but it might take a little while. Also note the normal mode is save deaths, so you cannot lose your items if you die in normal mode. Even after the promotion or the current events, you can do it without mechanics, and if you die, doesn't matter. If you kill it, you get drops, and you can get almost every single drop from the boss doing no mechanics, so it can actually be pretty good. Now, for the drops itself in hard mode, it has a streak mechanic similar to Telos, where you can continue your challenge. You can get a drop, you will get only 1 drop in hard mode, but you can keep going until you die or you stop, and that will allow you to get more rare drops. The issue here is that every time you continue, his enrage will grow and his mechanics will become stronger. A side note is that if you die at streak 1 after risking your first drops, you will only keep 5% of your loot. and if you die at streak 15 you keep 75% of your loot. So it's very worth to do if you can reach a streak of 15. As you can see, we have chests of 30 mil, of 40 mil. So let's go into the mechanics. The first mechanic, the one that you can disable, is creeping eyes. You will get eyes from some sides of the arena at certain point, and it will close up the bridge so that you need to be on that specific portion. The ice deals a very low amount of melee damage if you get hit, and it pushes you, and it's quite annoying, so you better just dodge it. Now, the next mechanic we got is the Blurry Special, and the Blurry Special is basically a prayer flick. It gets creeping eyes in the middle. You need to change prayer and use divert and resonance, and it can kill you easily with 400%. So you're gonna see 3 different animations. This is the first one on the top, and whenever you see that animation, you want to protect from melee to prevent getting a high hit. On 400% or more, you can get hits of up to 8k, 9k, so it's almost an insta-kill if you fail a prayer flick, but you can resonance for getting your full health back. This second animation that we see in the middle, it's the ranged animation, so you just protect from ranged when you see it. And the last one, that's the normal attack animation, it's deflect magic, so that way you know from different animations which prayer to use, and you can protect efficiently against his attacks. That's why Amulet's Souls is very big at this fight. Now, for the next mechanic. The next mechanic, it's a PostCore. It's also in the middle where you're forced to be, and it's just a DPS check. You will have to attack one of the 2 arms and destroy it before attacking the other arm or the Glacor, and you will be taking rapid magic hits that grow up with time. So if you take about 1 minute here, you start receiving thousands and thousands of damage per tick, and it becomes really hard to do. An important thing to note is that the hand that is near the entrance to the west side of the arena, or to our right now, because we're facing south, is weak to fire spells, while the other hand is weak to crush attacks. So as a ranger, I always attack the one weak to magic, because that one will receive more damage from my attacks. And this attack is really simple. It's quite easy to do. Just try to DPS the arms as fast as possible. For the third mechanic, we have the Frost Cannon. This can be on the middle or onto the sides. He will turn into a cannon and fire away. In normal mode, this hits you once for over 10,000 damage. In hard mode, it hits you 3 times for over 10,000 damage, and it stuns you for 6 seconds. So it's basically an insta-kill if you get hit. The way you can prevent this is by using defensives. The best one being Devotion, making your protect from magic 100% effective, while the other ways to prevent it are using the barricade ultimate or a combination of reflect and debilitate. You can resonance the first or the last hit, however they hit really fast, and you need to practice the timing a lot, and I don't consider it worth it, not at least on the rages I have gotten to, that's 500% or so. The next special is Pillars of Ice. It will creep to the west side, to the entrance, and it will summon 1 pillar. After a bit, a second pillar will appear, and they will walk towards you, and in hard mode, a 3rd pillar appears. These pillars deal rapid damage and can lower your adrenaline and prayer, so you just need to move around, dodge them, and you can use some defensives, but once you get into dodging them, it's gonna be pretty fine. And the last mechanic we got is Glycite Minions. Glycite Minions is the only mechanic that has a change with Enrage, a direct change, and that is an extra minion. Basically, 4 Glycites will spawn on one side of the arena, and after 250%, one will spawn on the middle with more HP, and you need to kill them before you can keep doing damage to the Arc Glacor. So it's basically kill the minions, and that's it. An important thing to note is that it doesn't possess the rotation, so he can start using another special while the minions are alive, so you should try to clear them as fast as possible. Otherwise, they are just annoying it's hard to die from the minions, but it can be hard if you get some other mechanics while at the same time. And now we're gonna be watching a full kill, because those are the mechanics, those are the fights. It's quite simple, it's easy to learn, it just takes a while to master because his health and his damage keeps scaling over and over and over again. So we're gonna watch a 410% kill, more or less. So we start with full adrenaline, we go in 413 and we start the fight. I like to start in the middle with a damage boosting rotation and just attack him. So I see the creeping guys coming from one side and I see a Spirit on the other. Since I'm on a quarter, that's a cannon. I use anticipation, I use devotion, nothing happens. I just keep dealing damage to him over and over and over again. And now the ice comes from both sides, so it's either another cannon or exposed core, so I can kill the arm really quick. As I told you, I attack the right one that is weak to magic. And then we got a flurry. Right now I'm gonna switch in prayers. As you can see, even if I switch prayers, I sometimes get hit for over 1000 because of the high enrage, but you can use devotion and resonance to get healed. He summons some minions while doing the flurry. Just be careful with that prayer flicking. He summons the minions right at the end of a special, so he can do another special attack. I'm just gonna kill the glacites really fast and keep going. Then the pillars are coming. I'm a bit low on health and pillars can get real annoying and they can kill you really fast, so I eat a bit, so just to make sure if I get hit I don't get killed instantly by the pillars. Another exposed core, and as you can see the fight repeats. There is not a certain order for mechanics, so you can expect to have double cores, double pillars, double glacites. You can expect to see the same mechanic over and over again, and there are some mechanics that might be good to have continuous, like the cannon or the flurry. They are easy to mitigate, but they can be really dangerous. Here comes another flurry. As I said, I'm just gonna be camping some prayer switches. You can try to use soul split if you have it, to soul split flick, but there I missed a prayer flick, and as you saw I almost died. I actually survived because I was lucky, and I resonanced his next hit to get a very big heal. So right now I'm just gonna be soul split flicking. You can do this kill barely eating as long as you do it right on low enrage. And there I just grazed the pillar and it hit me for 2.3k, so it's pretty big. And as the pillars are alive, he's starting to use the flurry. So you just need to pay attention on everything. You can practice this on normal mode, get known with the mechanics, with your prayer flicks, and that's gonna be really important. And here comes another cannon, so I use devotion, I use freedom to prevent the stun, and there we go. We keep going, and it's just the same over and over again. It's a really straightforward fight. It just gets harder because he hits harder and things have more HP. So for example, the arms get higher HP the higher your enrage, the minions get higher HP the higher the enrage, and everything just becomes higher. But he's about to die right now, so this was a full kill. Once you kill it, you can teleport or leave the portal and you will see your drop and you can streak it. So hope this guide was useful for you guys, and see you next time. I'm having some internet issues right now, so I'm not being able to PVM as much as I wanted, but next time we're gonna be talking probably about Front 3 of the God Wars Dungeon 3 series. As always, I was Sagamacaro, and see you guys next time.